Hello, everyone. If you can hear me loud and clear, just let me know in the chat. Trust you're well, doing amazing today. Hello, hello, hello. Good, good, good. Awesome. I see you. I see you. I see you. You are welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tell everybody that we're live and ready to go. Ready to go. Trust you're well. Trust you're doing amazing. Trust you're thriving. More importantly, I trust that you're thriving. Okay. We're just going to get started because we have quite a bit to cover today. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. We have a two-in-one topic to talk about today because I feel like I've been called to two sets of people, you know, entrepreneurs, business founders, and career professionals. And because that also has been my journey, right? I have enjoyed or have experienced both worlds, right? And so I feel like I have something to give to these two worlds. So I'm not shying away from it at all. And I definitely want to be able to add value to this part of my life, as it were. So welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Q2 2025, quarter two. How was Q1 for you? What were the amazing things? What were your small wins, big wins? What were the things you were able to achieve in 2025 Q1? How are you tracking on your goals? How are you tracking on your goals? Just put it for me in the chat. I just want to be able to engage with you, get a sense of how you're moving along on this journey, and just really understanding where you are, because I really want to meet you where you are, pretty much meet you where you are, and then, of course, take you along on the journey to get you to where you need to be. So, how has Q1 been? Let's do a quick review. Maybe we should actually do quarterly reviews, but we'll see. We'll see as time goes along, just to be able to get a sense around what did we set out to achieve within a quarter. How did we track? How did we, how far did we go in achieving those quarterly goals? I believe you do quarterly reviews, do you? Personally, is it something you do? If you don't, it's something I will definitely encourage you to do, because it just gives you a head start as you get into another quarter, so that the things that you didn't quite achieve, you will understand why you didn't achieve them, and you can go again the next quarter. The things that need to be fine tuned or tweaked in your strategy, where you dropped the ball, you can definitely, pick the ball back, and really just get things going as much as possible. And of course, for the things that you were able to do, you get to celebrate. Celebrate your wins, celebrate as much as possible. Oh, it went by very quickly. My daily reading progress is quite slow. You're getting on the momentum. One thing is that when you're building a new habit, or maybe a habit that you decided to be more consistent with, it will start out slow, but as you continue to do it, you realize that your body system, even your mind gets attuned to that new habits that you are building, and over time it begins to feel like you're on autopilot. The way you're driving, and you're not particularly paying attention to what you're driving, but hey, because you've mastered the art of driving, you just drive. Or because there is a particular route that you take every day, even without thinking, your mind takes you through that route. Has it happened to you before, that you intended to go a different direction, but because you've always passed this particular route, just naturally, subconsciously, you just drive past that same place, even if you intended, so if you're not consciously aware that, okay, I don't want to pass here today, I want to pass here, right? You will find that naturally your mind just takes you to where you've always gone through, right? So we are a product of our habits. So I understand that it can be slow at the beginning, but as we stay consistent, we begin to master it. So welcome to everyone in the Thrive community, Thrive transformational mentorship community. You are my G. Right, you are my G. I always, want to find ways to add value to you as much as possible. And so this is me welcoming you into our April session. And I'm genuinely excited that you've carved out this time to invest in yourself. And trust me, you're going to walk away with a lot of value today. Trust me. Whether you're a career professional, you're a business, maybe startup founder, entrepreneur, right? We'll be splitting today's conversation into two big parts because we're talking about career and business planning. So if you're a career person, we're talking about career planning. If you're a business person, we're talking about business planning. Do you understand? So, for the career professionals, we'll be exploring how to build a career that puts you in control. How many people feel like, they are in a career and they just feel like they just take what they see or what is available and they're not really in control of what, where their career is headed? Maybe first of all, what we'll even start with is if you are a career professional, drop a one in the chat. If you're a business founder or an entrepreneur, drop a two. I just want to get a sense of who is in the room and how many of us are entrepreneurs, how many of us are career people. So if you're a career person, drop a one. If you are a business person, drop a two. So I would help the career people to understand how to build a career that puts you in control. And then for the entrepreneurs and business owners, I will help to explore, or we will explore, how to grow beyond just surviving on a day to day and be able to build businesses that can last. All right? Build businesses that can last. Great, 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 great. All right, I see the ones and I see the twos. I see one and two. Interesting. I love that mix. Okay, so we will start with the career professionals, all right? In a world where the job market is constantly evolving, constantly changing, it's crucial to steer your ship rather than let external circumstances dictate your journey. Do you see? Very, very important for you to intentionally be in the driver's seat of your career. All right. So before we go into it, before we delve in, I want to ask you something personal, and I want you to reflect on it personally. Have you ever felt like you were just moving your career on a treadmill? Have you ever felt like that? Like you were just moving your career on a treadmill? Like you're busy but not really building something meaningful? Have you ever felt like that? Just let me know. I want to know. I want to see your comments. Let me see your comments. Share your comment with me. Have you ever felt like you're just, how you're on a treadmill? You can see the movement, but you're not particularly going anywhere. Like you're not moving past where you are. You're on the same position. How many of you have ever felt like that? I just want to know how many people. Okay, yes, for the longest time. Oh wow. Okay. I'm expecting more answers. More answers, more answers. I'm reading your comments. Okay, business, yes. Even career, yes. Okay, great. Let's get it moving. All right. I know what it looks like when you're busy, but you're not really building something meaningful, or you don't feel like what you're doing is really meaningful. So it has become a routine. It has become something you do because you just have to do it, right? Today, we're going to press pause on that treadmill. Who is on that journey with me? Like, we're literally going to press pause on that treadmill because we're going to talk about what it means to take control, to be the one holding the pen as you write your career story. Imagine 10, 20 years from now, where you have to imagine you have to write your biography or you have to write something about your journey. Want that journey to even sound like or read like. Now imagine yourself being the writer of that story that you want to tell, because that's where we're going to be at the end of the session. That's the objective. All right. So let's get into this conversation about career by design and career by default. Career by design, career by default. Okay. Let's start with a reality check. So many people, So many people end up in careers by accident. How many of you agree with me? Many people that I know get into their careers by accident. They studied something because their parents pushed them to it while they were in school, right? Or they took the first job that came their way, right, after school. And 5 years later, they're still stuck there. So when you ask them, they'll be like, I just had to do what I had to do. And sometimes it's like that, you just have to, whatever your hand finds to do, right? Even though I'm also a believer in whatever your hand finds to do it so that you're not idle. Keep engaging your mind while you are on the quest for what you really want. While you continue to look for the opportunities along the way of what you really want. Because what happens to a lot of people is that, yes, they find what their hands has found to do and they continue to do it. But the problem is that they stay stuck there. They don't move forward in the direction of what they really truly want. Or they allow themselves to just be sucked in by the system surrounding where they have found themselves. Or some people just get into this um, sense of helplessness where they feel like, well, I can't really help myself. This is all I've got, so I might as well just stay there and not really doing anything to propel themselves in a different direction. Do you see? So people stay stuck, even though they found themselves in a place that they didn't really want. But I want to challenge you today. What if your career could be by design rather than by default? What if you could intentionally decide where you are going? Yes, I know that you can't change anything about where you've been or where you are, but you can definitely change something about where you're going and what success looks like for you. You can do that, right? You can design it today. And that's why we're here. That's why we're having this conversation, right? Let me tell you about a mentee of mine, Tolu, not her real name. I'll call her Tolu. She started out in customer care. She was a customer care agent at a telco company. She was good at it, right? Because naturally she was a personable person. She was very warm, um, very engaging, very warm and kind, friendly individual. So she did very well. She was good at it. But she knew she wanted more. She knew she wanted more from her career. So after a session like this, that we had together, she decided to map out her dream career. And she wanted her dream career in tech. She wanted to do tech product management. And she began to implement the plan that she put in place. It was not just enough for her to have mapped out what the career path she wanted to explore was, but she was able to come up with a plan of how she was going to get there, what certifications she needed to take, what kind of exposure she needed to have by way of interning and volunteering. Remember, she was still doing customer care. She needed the money anyway coming from this job. So she was not about to just hop and go without necessarily building the skill set to be valuable as a tech or even to be attractive to, tech companies that could hire her as a tech product manager, which was what she wanted. So she knew that she needed to build the skill set. She also needed to build some level of experience. You see, in 2 years, she made the leap with new skills, with new network, with new opportunities. She made the leap, and that was it. Right? I can easily also share my own story of how I intentionally designed my career. And I know I've shared it many times about how I found myself in consulting, even though banking was the in thing. At that time, whenever you left school, the natural thing was you work in the bank or you work in oil and gas. Consulting was not particularly very, very common, right? And because it was also a huge hurdle to get into any of the big fours, right? So it wasn't like the common thing that anybody would want to go for. It was perceived as though that it's people that are really seriously academic that pursued consulting. But because I had an understanding of self, I had done a self-assessment. I had understanding of what I really wanted and how I wanted to add value and what I wanted my career path to look like. I knew that my place was in consulting. And I've shared the story before about how I intentionally put myself there, even though I was in my National Youth Service Corps and I was posted to a security company. What I did at that security company, how I went out looking for another job for myself, and I got into investment banking, which was fantastic. I loved it. But guess what? My eye was in consulting, and how I found myself, in consulting. Do you see? Even though I was discouraged that, the exams were usually, or the tests rather, were usually very tough, very few people usually met the cutoff and all of that. But I went in, I prepared, and I went in and I passed. And I went through the three levels of interviews within the space of 3 weeks. And the rest, they say, is history or is story, right? So, intentionally designing where you want to be, even though you're somewhere else today, you can create your career by design. So I want to ask you, are you building your career by design or by default? And I need answers. I need you to put the answers in the chat. Are you building your career by design, by default? This is a no judgmental zone. This is a zone where you are able to self reflect without judgment. And you're able to come to terms with answers, or should I say questions, that you hitherto may not have asked yourself. But because you are in a mentorship session, right? Even though I throw in a bit of coaching right there, but mentorship is I'm sharing my story with you. I'm sharing the story of other people with you. I'm drawing inspiration from all of these stories. I'm sharing principles, insights, tactics, strategies that I've seen used, proven, tested, that I know works. That's why you're here. Do you see? So it's for you to then be open enough to be able to take this in and do an honest assessment of yourself. So I'm asking the question again. Currently, based on where you are today, would you say that you are building your career by design or by default? What is it? Career by design, career by default. Which one is it for you? Drop your answers in the comment. I'll be reading. Now, the first phase or the first level of building your career by design is knowing yourself. That's the foundation of career planning. Remember, we're talking today about career and business planning. And I'm talking first to the career people. Business people, just chill for me. I'm coming back to you. All right, that'll be the second part of this conversation. But I'm here for the career people first, right? The first level of the foundation for career planning is knowing yourself. It's as simple as that. I know sometimes this thing can sound very, very basic, very, very elementary, but it's as simple as that. It's not very serious. It's not very, it's not complex. It's not complex. Know yourself, because you can't build a purposeful career without knowing yourself. Let's try a quick reflection exercise. And I need to see activities. I need to see you in the chat. I need to see that you're participating, all right, in this conversation. I need us to do a reflection exercise. Write down 3 things, because this was how I knew myself, or this was how I did a self assessment of myself, and I was able to narrow down to the fact that my space was in consulting. So I want you to do it right now, here with me. And I'm going to share my own with you. I need you to share yours in the comments as well. All right. Now, how do you know yourself? How you do this self-assessment is number one. Write down 3 things you absolutely love doing. 3 things that you absolutely love doing. That's number one. For me, I love doing many things, but I was able to narrow down to the top 3, because the 3 things that you absolutely love doing has to be something that you can translate to your profession. Do you understand? So something that you can translate to how you want to make money, or how you want to serve the world. All right? How you want to serve the world. So for me, I love empowering people. I love empowering others. I love helping others to recognize their potential. I love helping people to navigate through challenges. I love helping people to achieve their goals, which is why I'm doing this. This mentorship is a free mentorship platform. I get to spend time with you like this. This is time that could easily have been paid for, right, by another client. I know what my charge out rate is. But because I love empowering others, that's why I would do this kind of thing. I didn't just start. For those of you that already know my story, I started training. I was identified for a train the trainer program in South Africa while I was in KPMG, while I was just in my second year. This is a training that you don't get to attend until you are in your fourth or fifth year in KPMG. But someone identified me as someone that had what it takes to empower others because of how I was even helping my peers, teaching them on the job. So somebody just identified that this girl would be good as a trainer. And I was part of that program. So I started training from my second year in KPMG because somebody saw that in me, identified it, and recommended me for that training. And that's how my journey of actively in a formalized structure, empowering others by way of training. That was how it started. Do you see? So I recognized that in myself, one of the things I loved to do it was empowering people. And it comes to me naturally. Like we don't have to have a formal setting or structure before I do it. When I speak to my mentees, every moment with them is a coaching moment. They don't leave me without having something to go away with. And it just happens naturally. Some of them are here. They can, I mean, for those that have, one-on-one interaction with me, they can attest to it. Every moment with me is a coaching moment, really. Except you're not discerning and not perceptive. Do you see? Or you just feel like we're just talking. No, we're not just talking. I'm very intentional about everything I do. Every moment with me is a learning moment, is a coaching moment. Do you see? So I love empowering others, and I found out that about myself. And this love for empowering others fuels my motivation and drives meaningful interactions for me. I personally feel a deep sense of fulfillment when a client achieves a significant breakthrough, knowing that I played a role in that success. That for me is fulfillment. That for me is fulfillment. When I get a client to the point where they say, "Oh, I see. Oh, this is what I've been missing." You have no idea how that makes me feel. It makes me feel fulfilled that they are able to take a strategy that I shared with them and they made a huge success out of it, even if they don't pay me anything else other than my coaching fee. I feel so fulfilled. I knew that empowering others was something I could do without being paid for it. So I knew it was something I absolutely love doing. So that's number one for me. Number two, my love for learning. My love for learning. I have a natural curiosity and enthusiasm about personal and professional growth with fresh insights and strategies to serve my clients. I'm a natural reader. That is why you cannot be in my mentorship community and not be a reader. There's no way we can work together. I'm a person of faith, and the Bible says two cannot work together except they agree. And I practice that principle in every area of my life, even the kind of clients that I work with. If I perceive you as a problematic client, I will drop you. I will. In fact, there was a particular client that I refunded his money last year in millions because I just perceived that this is a problematic client. It's not ready to move forward. It's going to waste my time. I returned his money, and that was it. Do you see? Even in the way I pick my friends, in the way I even pick my mentees, in the way I pick my mentors, I apply it in every area of my life. Two cannot work together except they agree. So my love for learning was one of the things I absolutely loved and I knew about myself as well. So that natural curiosity, enthusiasm about personal growth. When I was in KPMG, I never missed one training. I never did. A lot of my peers would give excuses for why they didn't go for one training or the other. I scheduled my trainings ahead of time. I had it on my calendar. I will have, informed my managers ahead of time if there was work that needed to be done that will prevent me from going for that training. I will ensure that it is scheduled and done ahead of time. I never missed any of my trainings because I felt like that was an investment that the firm was making in me. And if I missed it, it was my own loss. That was the way I saw it. It was my own loss. Do you see? So, because I knew that I needed to be fresh, because I knew that my clients would rely on me to come up with strategies, insights on how to help them navigate their challenges, I knew I needed to be one step ahead every time. And so I'm always curious. Every day I read minimum 3 articles. Every day. Every day. I write, for those of you that will follow me on LinkedIn, I write a lot on LinkedIn. So I get content ideas even from some of the articles that I read. So I'm never out of what to write. The way some people will say, oh, they struggle with creating content, they struggle with staying consistent and writing on LinkedIn. That's not me, because I'm always immersed in content. There's always something to talk about. There's always something to share. Do you see? So I have this natural, in fact, when I'm reading a book, I see something to write about from there, what I'm learning from that book, especially if it applies to my area of work. So I know that I love that about myself, or that's something I absolutely love. The third thing about what I absolutely love about myself is my love for building relationships. I love to connect with people on a personal level, to foster trust, openness, deep connection, to create a safe space where my clients can explore their challenges and aspirations as much as possible. That's at the heart of the work that I do today with the top 1%, and even for all of my other clients and for my mentees as well. Your willingness to come into my space and be willing to open up and share what your struggles are with me. And I have friends that are very open like that. They share their struggles with me because I love to connect with people at a very deep level, personal level, that gives them that sense of safety, that they can share their struggles with me. You know, so those are top three things that I know I absolutely love doing. What are they for you? I've shared my own. What are they for you? Someone says, I love advising people, I love teaching, I love learning about investments. Great. Another person says, teaching people about financial planning, coming up with ideal solutions for other people, sharing new discoveries. Great. For the rest of you, I need you to come up with your own. Even for those of you that are posted, you may realize that, that as you, ponder on it a bit more, you may find that there are other things that are also like priority in terms of the things that you absolutely love, especially as it relates to your career. Now, after you've done that, the next thing is you need to look at the 3 things that you are genuinely skilled at. What are the top 3 things that you are genuinely skilled at? Number 1 for me is active listening. Active listening. Active listening is a skill. It's not everybody that knows how to listen. You know how you listen to your clients' unspoken fears and aspirations, the things that they are not saying, but they are saying with their body language, with some comments that they make by the side. So you have to be able to listen to the things that they're not telling you, not only the things that they're telling you. That's active listening, allowing for more tailored and effective guidance. I knew that was a skill I genuinely had, and that was a skill I nurtured from when I was young, at least from maybe when I was like 10, right? Another skill I know I had was problem solving abilities. I know that I'm a big picture thinker, so I can think in terms of big pictures. I can envision things that are long term. I can see big projects, right? But even with that, I also have the unusual blend of being detail oriented and analytical. So I'm able to break down big projects into smaller chunks, break it down, analyze it. So that analytical thinking helps me to be able to process challenges, process problems, and come up with solutions, strategies to navigate them. Creativity around problem solving, ability to offer practical solutions that are customized for each client's unique situation. I knew I had that. Even though when I was younger, I didn't know what name it was called. But as I grew older, I could call it, okay, this is problem solving ability. This is what it is called. Right? And then the third thing that I knew that I was genuinely skilled at. Remember, I'm not talking about technical per se skills right now, because I don't want you to be telling me PowerPoint skills, Excel skills. I mean, don't go technical. Just come down to yourself. Personal attributes, the things that you know. Okay? The third skill that I knew that I was genuinely skilled at was effective communication, which is why people think that I'm a great teacher or trainer. ability to communicate ideas clearly and persuasively as well. Because if it's not persuasive, I can tell you something, but I may not have been able to persuade you to align with me or to be on the same page with me as far as those ideas or those concepts, or to be able to embrace them, as it were, and use them. Do you see? So, ability to communicate my ideas very clearly and persuasively. My husband says something. He says, you know, whenever there's an argument about something, I always come with my facts. And when I lay my facts on the table, which oftentimes looks like I have thought through everything end to end, it's almost hard for anyone to now say, oh, no, that's not how it's going to be, because I will have thought through everything. My ideas will be so sequentially laid down. There will be business case for my position on any of those arguments that I would have been able to persuade you along the way. Do you see? Ability to communicate persuasively and clearly, and then to be able to articulate concepts, provide constructive feedback that people can use. I used to have a boss that was very problematic. You know, she would give me feedback and I can't use the feedback. And then I would try to extract what exactly she's trying to say with that feedback. Something like somebody looks at your work and says, you need to still work on it. You need to, I don't think it's proper. I don't, I just don't, it still needs a bit more work. And then you're trying to say, okay, so which parts specific? And they're like, they don't know. I'm like, okay, so what do I do now? How am I going to take your feedback and work on it? Because you haven't given me anything constructive. Just go and work on it more. Which parts? I don't know. Is it the structure? Is it the layout? Is it the idea itself? What exactly am I working on? So your ability, and I realize that it's a skill I have, being able to offer constructive feedback to people, and being able to also inspire people to facilitate their growth and understanding. Can you see how I've broken all of these things down? These are the things you do to know yourself, to decide where your career path will lead you. You know why some people are successful in their careers? They leverage their superpowers. That's what I'm telling you to find. Find your superpowers. How you find your superpower is knowing yourself, self awareness. Very important. There's no way you can create your career by design and not do it from a place of knowing yourself, because you design a career that suits your personality, your attributes, your characteristics, your strengths, the things that you have natural affinity for, the things that you love and enjoy doing. That's how you create a career by design. Do you see? So, finally, still on knowing yourself, ask yourself, what are the three types of problems that you love solving? The three types of problems that you love solving. You can be solving many problems, but the top three that you love solving. For me, number one problem that I love solving is I like to help people to navigate change. To navigate change, whether it is organizational shifts, where I'm able to get the organization to become more productive in terms of putting structure, or restructuring, as it were, or process re-engineering, all of those kind of things. Navigating change at organizational level. It can have something to do with people. It can have something to do with process. It can have something to do with technology. It can have something to do with the business model itself. I know I love to help to navigate change. For organizations, it will look like that. For individuals, especially for career people, to navigate career transitions. I have transitioned several times in my career, doing different things, and then ultimately now into full-time entrepreneurship. So what I do is I leverage my skill set and my experience to help others navigate their own career transitions. You see, we're still talking about navigating change, right? And in that process, I help them to identify transferable skills. Some people that are in my coaching program, my Wealth Accelerator coaching program, that's what I'm going to be doing with them. Because they're career people, they want to build wealth, They need to find alternative ways to create money, to build wealth assets. And it has to be beyond their jobs. And so they need to understand what are the transferable skills that they can use to create. Do you see? That they can use to create. So that's what I'm going to be doing with them. Let me know if you can still hear me loud and clear. All right. And then on a personal level as well, navigating personal growth, just to be able to create a clear action plan for your next steps. Remember, we're still talking about navigating change. That's a problem I love to solve. That's a problem I love to solve. Another problem I love to solve is helping people to overcome limiting beliefs. I help my clients to recognize and to dismantle these limiting beliefs, because sometimes the reason you're not successful at something, whether it's your career or your business or building wealth, achieving financial freedom or achieving your goal when it comes to maybe marriage or family, whatever is important to you, sometimes it's because of deep-seated subconscious conditioning, limiting beliefs. So I usually like to help my clients to recognize these limiting beliefs or myths that they believed that has held them back or kept them stuck. I like to help people see it so that they can move away from it, thus fostering a mindset of possibility and empowerment. For most of the people that were in my Unlock the World Coach challenge, most of the feedback that I got from people that participated was mindset shift, mindset transformation. A lot of them said it was just a mindset shift for me. Just that ability to now see possibilities in my future, that this thing is possible and this is how I can actually make it happen. So it's not like somebody is hyping you or psyching you up, but you can see it for yourself that these things they are actually doable and I can do it. That's one of the things that I'm absolutely great at doing, that I love to do. The third problem that I love to solve is to help enhance performance and productivity. So for me, it's always about optimizing performance, helping people to be able to manage their time effectively, helping people to be able to set goals effectively. Have you seen that play out even in our mentoring sessions already? Have you? Productivity strategies, helping my clients to maximize their potential and achieve their objectives. Have you seen that in our mentorship sessions already? Those are the natural things I love to do. Those are the problems I love to solve. So now step back. Do you see any overlap in the things that I've shared with you? Do you see any overlap? I need you to talk to me in the chat. I'm relying or I'm waiting on feedback that I'm getting from your chat. That's what tells me that you understand what I'm sharing with you and we're aligned, we're on the same journey, or you're, following what I'm sharing with you. Do you see any overlap in some of the things that I've shared with you in terms of number one, what I absolutely love doing? Number two, what I'm genuinely skilled at? And number three, the type of problem that I love solving. Because the intersection of your passion, your skill, and market demand, that intersection is your sweet spot. That intersection is your sweet spot. That is where purpose-driven careers are born. If you've never done this exercise before and you're wondering why you're stuck in your career, this is why. You need to do this exercise. You may need to watch the replay of this session again and take copious notes and then do this exercise by yourself and then decide on the career path that aligns with your passion, with your skill, and market demand. Remember, your career is something that you are leveraging your skills and your passion to be able to add value so that value can flow back to you. So it must intersect with market demand, because if you're passionate about something but there's no demand in the market for it, then that cannot be your career path. It can be a hobby. It cannot be a career path. Get that clear. It can be a hobby. It can be something you do because you love it, you're passionate about it, but you can't convert it to money. Nobody is willing to pay for it. So let it be your hobby and let it be pleasuring you and enjoy it. But it is not your career path. I hope that is clear for someone. I feel like that is for somebody. Do you see? All right. So let's start with the understanding of what truly you want from your career. Take a moment to reflect on your passions, on your strengths, and what makes you fulfilled professionally. I want to see reflections in the chat. If you're here, I want to see reflections. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Temitaya says, I love to impact, teach, and break down difficult concepts into simple ones. Okay, that's good. That's really good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so let's get it going. Um, Consider the journey of Sarah. That's another mentee of mine, right? I have a lot of mentees because I've been doing this mentorship thing for quite a while. I'm a mentor on several platforms, as some of you already know. So I'll share with you a few of their stories, right? So there's another lady called, I'll call her name Sarah. That's not her name, right? She's a 27-year-old marketing professional who found herself unfulfilled in a corporate role. And after some self reflection, she realized that her passion was in actually helping small businesses grow. That was what she was passionate about. So she was able to define her aspirations clearly. And she took a leap into freelance consulting. Okay. She decided that was the way to go. So she took a leap into freelance consulting and found not only satisfaction, but also financial success because she was able to make so much more money than what she was making in a 9 to 5. And this story demonstrates that self assessment is the foundation of effective career planning. All right. Now, I'm going to share with you a framework that will help those of you in career. For you to build a career that is not random, you need a roadmap. Put that down in the chat. To build a career that is not random, you need a roadmap. So I'm going to call it the PACE framework. PACE. PACE framework. P stands for plan, A stands for assess, C stands for curate, E stands for execute. Plan in the sense that, what do you want? You need to be able to answer that question. What do you want? What's your career vision? Draw a 5 to 10 year vision of your career. What do you see? What do you see? That is plan. Number 2, assess. Where are you now? Where are you now? What are the gaps? Evaluate your current skills and your experiences because that's what you have. And that's what you can use to take you to where you want to go. Do you see? So evaluate your current skills. What do you have? What are your experiences? What do you bring to the table? I know what I bring to the table. I've shared a lot of examples with you. I know what I bring to the table. Then begin to match your skills with your career aspirations. Identify what skills you need to develop to achieve your goals. All right? So now we go to C. C is curate. Curate. What experiences, skills, mentors can get you closer to your goals? You need to identify that. And then E, execute. Consistently take action, even if it is imperfect. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. So, consistently take action, create a plan, a tactical plan that you can go to work with on a daily basis. That plan could include a combination of mentorship, enrolling in relevant courses, expanding your professional network, deciding to be active on LinkedIn, for instance, contributing and lending your voice to something that you're passionate about and you want to be known for that thing in your industry. Do you see? P, plan. A, assess. C, curate. E, execute. That's the PACE framework. If you use this framework, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, you'll be able to create your career by design. Consider someone I'll call John, a mid-level manager who at some point in his career began to feel stagnant. He sought mentorship from a senior leader in his industry, and that helped him to be able to develop a personalized development plan. And this included public speaking, training, leadership workshops, because he was a mid-level person and he wanted to break beyond that mid-level. He wanted to move to the top level, but he needed to create visibility. He needed to show himself as someone that has leadership ability beyond the level that he was currently at. And so he began, to do public speaking. He went to learn public speaking. He started training. He started leading leadership workshops, even within the office space and outside of his office. Within a year, he was promoted to a director role. Within a year. Let me also share another story of another person I'll call Chinwe. Chinwe's story is very interesting. She was stuck in HR admin. And for the longest time, she had dreams of doing strategy. But she was stuck in HR admin. Using this same framework that I just shared with you, she began to take certification courses. She joined projects at work. She found a mentor that, mentored her in that same line, someone that was already doing HR strategy at a multinational company. Within 2 years, she landed a new role as people and strategy lead in another organization. Do you see? So as a career person, intentionality is important. You have me as a mentor. I can mentor you in several areas, but it may mean that depending on what you come up with, that you find a mentor in your industry that can give you something that is even more specific to what it is that you need for your career growth. Do you see? Very important. Now let's talk about how to navigate uncertainty. How do you navigate uncertainty in your career with purpose? We all deal with uncertainty, right? You might feel unsure about your next steps, and that's okay. That's okay. There have been times when I also didn't feel like I was very clear on what I wanted to do. So those times, yeah, do exist, right? Those of you in Nigeria and maybe Africa, you know Moabudu, right? The founder of Ebony Life TV, communications, media house, and whatever. She started out in HR. Today, now she's in media. Ibukun Awoshika is another person that everybody knows, right? She studied chemistry in school. Chemistry. Today, she's a top businesswoman, not even doing anything related to chemistry at all. So it doesn't matter where you started from. It doesn't matter where you are right now. What's important is where you're going and how you chart your path to get there. Do you see? So you need to be able to understand how to navigate challenges as they may come up in your career. And some of it could be things like job loss. Maybe for some reason you were asked to go, or there is industry shift that has now made you redundant, or there are skills gaps. Understanding how to handle these challenges is very important for your long-term success. There was also the story of Chris. Chris was also a marketing professional who found himself suddenly laid off due to, the company downsizing. Now, instead of getting discouraged, what he did was that he utilized that setback as an opportunity to reevaluate his skills. And through networking and upskilling, he pivoted into digital marketing. And that was an area that was in high demand. Now, this resilience not only led him to a new job, but also to a more fulfilling career path that he had not previously considered. So sometimes when setbacks happen, it is because he needs you to course correct. And you need to take it in good faith for you to be able to see the opportunities that are in that challenge. Do you see? So the key takeaways for career professionals today is, in wrapping up, the session for the career people, you need clarity of vision. You need to be able to define what you want from your career. That's number one. Number two, Strategic planning. Use the PACE framework to create actionable steps. Number three, resilience. Embrace challenges and turn them into opportunities for growth. I tell you, purposeful careers are not found. You don't pick it on the street. You want to build a purposeful career, it's not something you find, it's something you build. Purposeful careers are not found, they are built. Built with intentionality. Don't wait for permission to grow. I used to tell my mentees, I was not one of those people that waited on my organization to train me. Thankfully, I've been part of organizations that were big on training. But even at that, I did a lot of other trainings outside of the organization because I knew where I was going. I knew the skill set that I needed. If my organization was not willing to train me in those skill sets, I trained myself because I saw it as an investment in me that will potentially yield so much more in the future. And I tell you, those investments are paid off big time. Don't wait for permission to grow. Use that PACE framework for your quarterly self check or self review, as it were. So I'm going to leave you, career people, with some things to do. Outline your own career aspirations. Use the framework to create actionable steps and be able to narrow down to what specific steps are you going to take in this month of April? What specific steps are you going to take in this quarter to move you closer to your goals? All right? That's what I'm going to be leaving you, career people, with. So now let's transition to our entrepreneurs in the room. And for the entrepreneurs, we're talking about how to go beyond survival, how to future proof your business. All right? How to move from hustle to strategy, how to use the growth mindset to shift you from a place where you're just stuck to where you can actually really grow your business. Now, let me say this. Hustle will get you started. You see, hustle will get you started, but it is strategy that will sustain you. Put that in the chat for me. Hustle will get you started, but it is strategy that will keep you sustained in business. Too many people are working in their business and not necessarily working on their business, and that's where they're missing it. That's why their businesses are not growing. They are stuck at that survival level where you're literally going at it every day just to survive. But they're not just able to make the next level of growth because they're just really fixated on the next sale that they want to make. That's all they are all about. So they are involved in just sales operations on a daily basis. Operations, sales operations only. Focused on working in the business, not necessarily on the business. Most of you know Niger Branchik, Nendi Agogo, the founder of Nelly's Nigeria. She started selling healthy snacks from her kitchen. I bought some of her snacks before. She was selling it on Instagram and on WhatsApp. Those were the platforms that she was using to promote her business. But what changed the game for her? Because right now she's the kind of person that different companies, even Lagos State government, are partnering to sponsor all our programs, all our trade fairs that she's now doing all across Nigeria and even outside Nigeria. For those of you that follow her, she did one in London last year and in several parts of Nigeria, right? And she has plans to take it to other African countries. What has now made her a household name in that SME industry? What did she do? It was because she began to think of what she was doing like a real business. And she didn't feel stuck that all she could do was just this healthy snack business. This self-assessment that I've been telling you about, some of you in business, a lot of it also are things that you can use for your business. Do a self-assessment for your business as well. Ask that question. And what else? The Niger Branch chick that you know today, you really didn't know her because of her healthy snacks. You knew her because of all the other things that she's now doing. How she's empowering other business people. How she's building platforms for other business people to thrive. How she's taking the courage to be the one to do big things that other people will shy away from. She's built a brand and she's leveraging her personal brand. She hired a team to help her get the work done. She created systems, and that's what has made the difference with her business. So if you're a startup founder, don't think about your business in the terms of just what only you can do. Think about how you create systems around your business and how that business can move beyond just you, beyond just what you can do. All right. So, what will I say is your true foundation as a business owner? It is your vision and your values. Your vision and your values. If I ask you now, what does success look like in your business in 5 years' time? Can you answer with clarity? Any one of you that said you're entrepreneurs, what does success look like in your business in 5 years' time? Do you have that answer clearly? Can you give me that answer? Can you put it in the chat? What does success look like for you? You need to know your vision, which is the impact that you want to make with the business. You need to know your mission, which is the work that you do every day to make that vision a reality. And then what are the milestones? What are the key steps to get you there, year on year, quarter on quarter, month by month? You need to define your business values as well. Look at Paystack, for instance. Paystack was a startup company at some point. Their values shaped their culture and their brand, and this helped them to scale across Africa until they were bought over by Stripe in 2020 at over $200 million. This was a young startup company that was started by two young guys out of Nigeria. So your own startup story can also become an international brand story, can become a business that transcends the shores of Africa. But it depends on how you see it. It depends on your vision for that business. It depends on your values as well. So I'm also going to give you a framework. I gave the career people the PACE framework. I'm going to give the business people what I call the BOSS model or the BOSS framework. BOSS is BOSS. BOSS. Now, the BOSS framework is a comprehensive framework that is designed to help startup entrepreneurs to build solid foundation for their businesses. This framework breaks down essential components, the four key areas, which is your business model, your operations, your sales and marketing, and sustainability. Those four areas. And we're going to deep dive very quickly, into each of these sections. Number one is your business model. Your business model defines what your startup sells. It determines the kind of customers that you attract or that you are positioned to solve their problem or to provide solution to them. Your business model also determines how you deliver value consistently as a business. It is crucial to how you articulate your value proposition. Very important. Your business model is what will determine or answer the question, what do you sell? It can be a product, it can be a service, it can be a combination of both. Do you see? It can be a combination of both. I offer services, but I've also found a way to productize my services. So you see my services now, not just one-on-one consulting. You'll see it in form of digital products, online courses. Do you see? You see it in terms of books. You see it in terms of master classes that are delivered and then can be paid for on an ongoing basis because people can access the replay and pay for it. Do you see? I found a way to productize my services. So for you, it can also be a combination of both. Your business model will determine who pays for your service or your product. How do you identify your target market? Are they individuals? Are they businesses? Do they have like specific demographics? I serve organizations, for instance. I provide strategic consulting, financial advisory, capacity development for organizations. I serve individuals. I provide executive coaching to individuals. Do you see? Paid coaching, tiered coaching, different levels. You can come into my coaching at different levels. There are people that I offer one-on-one coaching to. I have a group coaching platform as well. Do you see? As an individual, I also deliver my service in form of speaking. So I earn from speaking engagements. I position myself as an international speaker. I'm available to handle master classes, to facilitate master classes, workshops. I still did one for Wimbies last, was it during the holiday or last weekend? I think it was last weekend. Yeah, last week, Saturday, yes. So I facilitate master classes. Okay. I do keynote speeches. I speak on panels. They are paid. It's still a service. And you professionalize all these services and you put it in a way that people can access it. So your business model, and my business model is largely virtual. I created a virtual team from 2020, 2018 when I started. So my business model is very flexible, leverages technology. I don't have to be in a physical location to deliver what I deliver. You need to crack your business model. Who pays for it? Who are you targeting? I target the top 1%. I offer them private wealth management. I offer them legacy planning. I offer them family advisory. I offer them estate planning. I offer them lifestyle concierge through my family office business. I serve SME business owners. I offer them strategy consulting. I offer them financial advisory. I offer them capacity development. I offer them business structuring services. You already know what I offer individuals. I offer career individuals coaching that allows them to be able to accelerate their career pursuit to C-suite level. It's a journey I have been through, so I can coach you to it. Okay. I help career individuals who want to transition in their career, either from one industry to the other, or from career into entrepreneurship, or they want to stay in their job and build a side ons to allow them to become more effective with their leadership. Can you see how articulate I am about what I do? And I have different businesses for these things. Or at least I've been able to structure my businesses in a way that there are businesses that come under my personal brand. There are businesses that come under my corporate brand and separated to the target audience. I don't mix the business that I do for the top 1% with the one that I do for the small and medium scale businesses. Do you see? Does this make sense to you? You have to be that articulate. It needs to be clear. Without reading it from anywhere, you must be able to tell me. So, who do you serve? Who is your target market? Who pays you? Are they individuals? Are they businesses? What specific demographics are you targeting? If you're offering a fitness business or fitness app, you know, your clients are definitely people that are health conscious adults between maybe ages 18 and maybe 45 or 50. Do you see? So, how do you deliver yours? How do you deliver value repeatedly? That's also part of your business model. Consider how you keep your customers coming back. Let's say you are operating a meal delivery service business, meaning you cook meals and then you deliver it to your customers. You might want to consider offering them weekly menu changes and discounts for repeat customers. You know, how do you do that? How do you do that? I'm expecting you to answer me. How do you do that? How do you ensure that you deliver value repeatedly? So imagine I'll use a startup that is, I mean, they've grown now, but they were a startup at some point. Echo Park. Echo Park. They're based in Italy with subsidiaries and operations in other countries like Brazil, Canada, India, Russia, and Tunisia. Now, what they do is they sell eco-friendly packaging services. Eco-friendly packaging services, right? That's what they do. Their business targets, the business model targets small and medium scale e-commerce businesses that are looking for sustainable solutions. Do you see? They deliver value through a subscription model. They provide regular shipment of their packaging materials that are tailored to their clients' needs. That's their business model. What's yours? A lot of people say, oh, my business is not growing. I don't know why it's not growing. People don't even understand as much as defining their business model clearly is one of the ways to ensure that your business is able to grow. Because that's how you know where to work on or where the challenges are to focus on it. The O is operations. Operations refers to the processes, the systems that enable your business to function smoothly. Now, this includes everything from how you develop your products to how you serve your customers. How do you get things done? That's your operations. Identify the workflows that support your business. Are the tasks being performed consistently? Are you improvising daily? Is that what you're doing? We're looking for shortcuts to manage the situation. Are there systems in place? Are you implementing systems that help you to streamline operations? Do you use project management software like Trello, Asana, whatever, to collaborate among your team for accountability? What do you do? If I continue to use that example, there are orders passed through an inventory management system, ensuring that they never run out of all their high demand products. The operation team conducts a weekly inventory check and they use a software to track their customer preferences. And this helps them to maintain efficiency and high customer satisfaction. That's operations right there. Some people, the reason their business is not growing is because their operation is not efficient. It's always a fire brigade approach every time. They are always chasing fires. The next S is sales and marketing. Now, sales is very crucial. Sales and marketing is very crucial to how you attract and you retain your customers. This is where you need to define strategies for reaching your target audience. How are you attracting your customers? Consider digital marketing techniques definitely because everybody is online. So if you're not using digital markets to your advantage, now you're missing. You're losing. You're leaving money on the table. Social media engagement, content marketing, partnerships, cross industry partnerships, not only just with people in your industry, you know. And then think about how you are now retaining those customers because it's not just about bringing in new customers every time. How are you retaining them? Are you using customer loyalty programs? Are you using personalized communication? Are you sharing? Are you giving them exceptional customer service that keeps them coming back? That makes them become brand ambassadors to showcase their packaging and how it helps businesses to stand out and why it is also environmentally friendly. Okay, they run targeted ads on Instagram and Facebook, and these ads highlight their customer testimonials, offering first time discounts. All right, how many of you have shopped on Temu before? you know, Shopping on Temu is very interesting. I'm like, these people, they really have cracked this marketing thing. Because before you shop, they will first of all offer you some free items. And after you've picked those free items, they will tell you buy products worth, say, 45 or 50,000 to get your free items. They just locked you in with their free offers. Maybe those free offers don't even mean as much to them, but they've gotten you to pay to buy things worth 50,000 naira, which on a normal day, if you came on their platform, you may not have bought more than maybe 5 or 10,000 naira worth of item. But they've used their free gift that they've given you upfront to lock you into buying much more, spending more on their platform. And then before you finish checking out, they'll tell you, if you add one more thing, we'll give you another 10% discount or something. Before you know it, you've spent money that you don't have. You've spent a whole lot more on their platform. So to retain your customer, you may want to, look at what are the strategies that you can use to lock people in and get them to buy much more from you. What kind of reward can you give them for making repeat purchase? Discounts, exclusive products. What can you do? The last S is sustainability. Now, sustainability in business is how you manage your resources wisely for long term success. This includes your financial management. That's another place where businesses miss it. They'll tell you, you'll find a lot of small business owners who are commingling their personal funds with their business funds. The way they hire people is also a problem because they end up hiring the wrong people. No best practice hiring methods. And then there is no strategic planning in most cases. So the question I'm going to ask you is, how are you managing your money wisely? How are you tracking your expenses? How are you tracking the money that you're making, the income that is coming in? Which of your products is giving you the most profit margin? Is your business profitable? Are you investing flows? Are you able to project your cash flows? How are you hiring into your business? If you have a team that works with you, how do you go about hiring for, the right people to help you execute your vision? How do you hire people that align with your vision and the culture that you're building? And how do you ensure that they bring complementary and valuable skills that allow you to be able to achieve your goals? Are you thinking about what you're going to sell next week as opposed to thinking long term? Do you have a roadmap for where you want your business to be 5 years, 10 years from now? Are you looking at market trends and seeing where things are going and how that may impact your business, or where there could be potential opportunities or maybe potential threats or challenges that you need to be aware of? Where are the growth opportunities in your business? What are the things that people are not exploring? And these are opportunities that are literally there within your industry that people are not exploring. If I go back to that Eco Park example in terms of sustainability, it's in how they invest a portion of their profit in research and development, because they are focused on environmentally friendly products. So they are constantly investing in research that allows them to be able to create new biodegradable materials, because that's their own value proposition of how they stand out in terms of packaging materials that don't contribute pollution to the environment, and they help us to build an eco-sensitive products. Let me just put it that way, and that helps them to stay ahead in terms of market demand. You know, it's in how they are hiring, their hiring strategy that allows them to be able to prioritize candidates that have a passion for sustainability, because that's a culture that they built. It resonates with their brand values. And so anybody that is coming to the organization must have those values as well. So, in summary, for those of you that are in business, think boss, think business model, think operations, think sales, think sustainability. Your business model must answer the question, what do you sell? Who pays for what you sell? How do you deliver value repeatedly? Okay, your operations, how do you get things done efficiently? It's not just about getting it done, it is whether you're doing it cost effectively and efficiently. Are there systems, or you're just winging it every day? The next S, sales and marketing. How are you attracting, and not only attracting but also retaining the customers that come into your business so that you can continue to get repeat business from them? And then sustainability. Are you managing your money wisely? Are you hiring right? Are you thinking long term? For you to be able to thrive in your business, either you innovate or you stagnate. It's either of the two. Innovate or stagnate. And innovation does not mean that you're building a technology app. Sometimes it's about doing old things in better ways. That's innovation. In today's rapidly changing environment, it's not enough to simply survive. We must learn to thrive. And understanding how to future proof your business is essential for sustainable growth. Innovation is the lifeblood of any successful business. You need to find gaps in the market that can lead to new products, new services. Don't stay stuck on what you know or what you currently do. Are your customers' preferences changing? And how is this leading to new product development? I know a hair care brand in Ghana that scaled massively just by building a WhatsApp community for their loyal customers. And in that community, they offer tips on how to take care of your hair, how to take care of your wigs. They offer discounts, they get feedback. That's innovation. Something as little as that is innovation. So, what are the key takeaways for you, business owners? Don't just run after money, build a business with structure. Okay? The boss model gives you a full picture of what you need to improve. If you can sit back on it, do a honest assessment of your business, you'll realize where the gaps are and the things that you can work on. Once you identify the things that you can work on, create an action plan around it and start working on it. Get help if you need help. Innovation is not about technology only, it's about problem solving. Let's just do a recap. Let's do a recap. In closing and in just reflecting on what we've learned today, what will you do differently? Anyone? What will you do differently? We've covered so much. We've talked about the career people, we've talked, about the business people. Reflect on the one thing that you will do differently going forward. What would it be? Something that you can start from tomorrow, from Monday, from next week. What will it be? Just take some time to write it down. All right. Thank you so much. I want you to go into the community, into the group, and put down your reflections. Put down the things that you learned from this particular session. I'm going to be looking out for every one of you. It's important. We can't have spent over an hour, almost 90 minutes, and everywhere will be quiet. I want to know what you've learned. I want to know what your reflections are. I want to know what you will start doing, whether you're in career or you're in business. I want to know what will be your next steps. What are the immediate things that you're going to start doing? All right. Thank you for showing up for yourself today. Growth is never accidental, it is the fruit of intention, effort, and community. And you're in a community that supports. Guess what? You're not alone on this journey. The Thrive community is here to support you. So let's keep building together. Let's keep supporting one another. I love you and I'm rooting for you. Take care and God bless you.